But what does it actually mean? What does NFT mean in the context of I'm a photographer, I'm a wedding photographer, and I'm out there and maybe I take some photos on the side that I think are, fantastic photos that I maybe want to sell. What does NFT mean to those people and what does it actually symbolize?
Yeah, so I think to understand what this whole thing is to understand a traditional art market. So, for example, let's say you walk into a photography or art gallery, you actually end up finding pieces on the wall that have sticker prices, sometimes very high and sometimes not so high, depending on the type of gallery you go to. There's different types of galleries, but the ones that we know are always the ones that have high ticket items.
Hmm.
And it's interesting because who determines that rate for that piece of art or that work or that photograph? And like who is the person deciding that these are the photographs that should be on the wall? Well, you have a curator that goes out and finds artists or photographers that have future value or have composed something that has value now, even though they might not be known. So these curators get them into these galleries and then they showcase their work and they decide that based on, what maybe their past sales or if they're a new artist, based on what the gallery thinks they can make, they'll put a price on it. And it works very similarly in the digital world. Now, the main difference here is going to be the medium in which you create this piece. Obviously, with physical art, what happens is you can take that piece home with you, you can put it on your wall, you can do whatever you want. The question that comes up, number one, is I don't understand why I would pay for that digital piece of art rather than going to an art gallery and buying something physical. What's the difference? Well, when you think about it this way, the physical piece of art is maybe only worth a few dollars of supplies when you think about the sum of the materials. Whereas with the digital art, even though you don't have something tangible, the value doesn't come from the tangible piece of art. It actually comes from the ownership, it comes from the value. And those are the two things that people consider. So, for instance, if you have an certificate of authenticity, then what happens is the value is placed on, let's say, the edition that you have, like one of 10 or one of one, and then you can resell that. So, if you can authenticate it, and say that you specifically, Ben, own that piece that I've sold or created, then you have the value of whatever you're purchasing comes in that certificate, if you want to put it that way. And the thing is, aside from it just being digital, the artist themselves or the creator, the photographer, can then also decide to send you a physical print and say, this is the NFT, a representation of it. It's one of 10, you can sign it. So it's not just necessarily that you're buying a digital piece, but you're buying almost a part of the artist as well. You're buying a part of their future where they're going towards their value. And then everything else is just a token. It's a representation of that. So that digital piece you're getting or that print you're getting or whatever, yeah, actually you do get a print, but you're actually paying for the value of that artist and the print or the digital is just a token of what they're worth.